for making it inside of this Canva AI course. I'm super happy to have you here. And in this first short lesson right here, I'm just going to be giving you the class project that you're called to complete by the end of this course right here. Now, again, in this course, we're covering everything around Canva AI, right? I'm going to show you how to code, how to create whole websites, how to create images, how to design projects, and how to write whole documents with Canva AI. So again, the class project that you're called to complete by the end of this course right here is to use the code for me section in Canva AI and code a small website that will serve as your online CV, right? As your online resume. So I want you to use the correct prompting techniques that we're going to be describing in the second lesson of this course right here to prompt correctly with Canva AI and design a whole website that will be published and will serve as a way to display your CV in an interactive manner. So again, to successfully submit this class project, I want you to copy the link of this website and paste it in the class project description of this course right here. Now, note that I will be personally reviewing every single one of your class project submissions, so this is also an awesome way to connect with me as your instructor. Now, enough with this introduction. Let's move into this course right here. I'm super excited to have you, and I'm going to see you in the next lesson. So before we even dive with the theory around Canva AI and even the software overview, I just want to show you how cool this software can be. So check this out. I want you to create a landing page around my videography services for dog saloons. I want you to include the pricing, which is $100 an hour, and my services, which is video creation, short form video creation, and documentary video creation. I also want you to include an interactive element in which potential customers will be able to choose how many videos they want produced, and my landing page will dynamically set the pricing for each and every single one of the clients. I also want you to have a contact me button and a let's work together button. Let's send it over and let's code it in literal seconds. And here it is. So this is the website. Click on use a design website. And if I click on preview and publish website and then publish, we just literally created a whole website around this service that I just described. How many seconds did it take us? Professional videography services for dog saloons. Capture the transformation, showcase your artistry, and grow your business with stunning video content. Contact me. Let's work together. My services and the custom pricing calculator right here. How about that? Right? And here's also another contact form. Canva AI is here to change the way that we interact with the digital world and the way that we produce content as creative professionals. And I'm super happy to have you here. Now, let's dive into this and let's analyze every single aspect of the software to communicate your ideas. And this is done through prompts. As you can see in this course right here, in the next lessons, we're going to have a separate lesson just dedicated in prompt engineering. So be able to understand how Canva AI reads what you give to the software, right? Reads your prompts and be able to, again, engineer the correct prompt, right? Because again, in the third step of design, in AI-powered design, what will determine how good your design projects will be is the quality of the prompts that you use. That's the most important thing that I want you to get also from this lesson right here, but in general from this course, right? Because anyone can use Canva AI. Suddenly, like anyone can be a pro designer. But what will differentiate you from other designers is the quality of the prompts that you use and how you engage with AI in the first place. And that's why you're in this course right here. So why, again, AI in design? Why use AI in design, right? AI, first of all, speeds up workflows massively. So again, repetitive tasks like resizing, editing, and formatting are now completely automated because those are, again, repetitive and robotic tasks, and they simply do not require any creativity. And as a creator, the only thing that you want to be doing is just putting all of your time, energy, and again, brain power to create. All of the other tasks should be automated. Again, AI makes design super accessible. So anyone has access to AI. Anyone can produce professional looking designs without needing to have any crazy training. right? On top of that, a huge point on why you should know how to use AI in design and you should know how to interact with Canva AI is the fact that you can scale your content creation massively. Suddenly, you don't need a physical person to be tackling your design project. You can have one AI or two AIs or four, say, AI agents working on your project on real time. So again, this is perfect if you have a creative business and you don't want to hire people, right? Or if you're a creator that just needs consistent output across multiple platforms. AI analyzes, let's say, your company's characteristics, right? Or your business characteristics, your details, the colors you use, the fonting that you use, right? The way that you communicate with messaging. And it just replicates this thousands of times effortlessly, right? On top of that, AI doesn't only outsource your creativity. You not only can outsource your creativity to AI, which in my opinion is something super wrong and you shouldn't be doing it. You can utilize AI to actually spark your creativity. So it can suggest styles, layouts, and ideas that you might have never heard of, right? So this would be a means and a way to spark your creativity with AI. Now, where does Canva AI fit and why should we use Canva AI? So again, Canva has built AI directly into the design process through its Magic Studio tools. We got AI Write, AI Design, AI Video, and AI Code. And this is pretty much everything that a creative business will ever need. And even if you don't have, let's say, a creative business and you're just a simple creator doing this as a hobby, AI Write, AI Design, AI Video, and AI Code will completely change the way that you interact with content. So we're going to be going through every single one of these four, again, AI offers that Canva has. But with AI Write, you will just simply instantly generate text, captions, summaries for your posts. With AI Design, well, you guessed it, you will immediately in seconds design, let's say professionally, exactly what you describe to the AI design. Again, artificial intelligence algorithm. With AI video, you will be able to generate videos from your prompts, which could be used as B-roll, for example. You could create whole informational videos or introductory videos or commercials just with AI video. And with AI code, you will be able to give birth to interactive coding elements. This could be quizzes, for example, for some of your other endeavors. So we're diving into more information about all of these four AIs, but keep in mind that we're talking about something super revolutionary here. So together, combined, these four tools make Canva AI a literal design superpowers for both beginners and professionals. So again, what are the advantages of utilizing AI? Because it's very important to understand the advantages as well as the disadvantages of using AI for our design process, right? So the advantages is that, first of all, AI saves time and effort, right? So you can focus on your ideas, you can focus on being creative rather than performing manual tasks that are repetitive and robotic. On top of that, AI boosts your creativity, as we talked about. So it's just new directions and new possibilities that you might never have heard of them, right? And you will see this in action in the next lesson of this course, right? On top of that, of course, it is accessible to anyone. You don't need to be a graphic designer. You don't need a graphic design degree or a huge graphic design studio with sophisticated tools. The barrier to entry is super low. Anyone can access this. You don't need to code, right? It's again super low. If you can describe what you're thinking, you can access Canva AI. And of course, if you're doing rapid prototyping, if you're testing new products, testing new ideas, you can test concepts again quickly before finalizing a design. So now let's move to the cons of AI in design. And because artificial intelligence, yes, it's awesome. It really, let's say, gives you endless possibilities, but there are some limitations here. The first one could be generic outputs, right? So if you only try to outsource all of your creativity to AI, you will get some repetitive generic outputs. For example, again, you might just lack originality because at the end of the day, you're a creator and you want to be creating, you want to be stretching those creative muscles. If you try to outsource the one thing that makes you special and the one thing that keeps you, in this creative business of yours to AI, then you will be, replaced by it. So again, you might also find a point of limited creativity because AI follows patterns, right? It's not truly innovate like a human being. That's why we need to use AI as an assistant rather than as a creator. Again, over-reliance, depending only on AI, may stop you from developing real design skills, right? If you're interested in that. If you're not interested in developing any real design skills, then it's cool, right? And finally, you might find some ethical and copywriting concerns. If you're a big company, you might want to check out the terms and regulations of Canva AI, but I'm pretty sure that this is not going to be a problem for Canva AI. So the key here is pretty much to have a balance. Again, as we talked about in this lesson right here, AI is not a replacement for creativity. It's an enhancement for creativity. So it's not here to just completely outsource your creativity and just move you out of the equation. It's here to assist you in becoming more and more creative. So you should focus on your organic human skills like storytelling and brand personality, and you should try to communicate those skills and those ideas and those vision of yours that separates you from the AI in the first place with these algorithms, right? To have the best output. So what are the key takeaways of this lesson right here? AI is completely reshaping modern design and it's making it more accessible than ever. It speeds up workflows and empowers both beginners and professionals on their design journey. And of course, the best results while engaging with these algorithms come with collaboration. So you should use AI for efficiency, but add your human creativity for originality and impact, right? So thank you very much for being here in this lesson right here. Now it is time to launch Canva AI and start engaging with these awesome AI tools. So in the next lesson of this course, we're going to be doing a small overview of Canva AI and all of the tools and all of the ways that you can engage with this artificial intelligence platform, right? So I'm very happy to have you here. See you in the next lesson. So, ladies and gentlemen, now let's welcome you to the third lesson of this course. And now it is time to actually launch Canva, access Canva AI, and start engaging with all of the different AI modes inside of it. I'm super excited to have you here. So let's have this small overview. Let me show you exactly what Canva AI is about. So with the new update on Canva, as you can see in the home page here, so while accessing Canva, you can click on home and you will immediately have access to Canva AI once you click on this box right here, which states, describe your idea and I'll bring it to life, which is literally what AI once does, right? So again, you can access all of your projects and templates normally, but now you have access to Canva AI by clicking here. So once we click here, you can see that we are redirected into a new Canva AI interface, right? And now you can either see your recent charts, right? So again, what you have already designed and what AI can do for you. So all of these are the different applications of Canva AI here. Let's just go through some of them. You can generate images, right? With, again, the image generation. Again, create an image section of Canva AI. You can code, you can write, you can design, you can generate videos, right? So all of those different examples. And why does Canva, again, give us all of those different examples? Because Canva actually wants to train us, humans, on how to correctly prompt in Canva AI. For example, on video, if I click on this video right here, right? Let's click on it. I just prompt, create a video of a close-up, right? Create a video of a close-up of a translucent acrylic feather resting on a black surface illuminated with directional light that splits into vivid rainbow gradients across its edges. Hyperreal, refracted, and surreal. So I'm not going to generate it right now, but you can see like how Canva AI wants us to prompt, right? Now, how do we access the different AI modes? Because you can see we have the image mode, the code mode, the write mode, the design mode, right? We do this from here. So you can click, if you want to design something, for example, you click on design for me, and then you have all of those different options. So you can either design for social media, you can design a presentation, a marketing campaign, let's say, you can design cards and invitations or logos. And if I click on social media, you can see that another box opens, right, with a format. So what's the format here? Are we looking for a Facebook cover, a Facebook post, an Instagram post, right? So you see we have all of those different things to choose from. So again, design from me, presentation, let's say, right? Or design from me, marketing. What's the format here? Do you want a business card, a flyer, infographic, or a poster? And we're going to be engaging with all of these. I'm going to show you like how to use all of these, right? For example, on the create an image, right? You can change the style, right? So it's going to be smart. It's going to be a cinematic concept, right? A sketch, right? And of course, you can also change the resolution. Do you want it a 9:16, a 1:1, 4:3, 3:4? Those are previous images that I've tested, right? As you can see. Okay, but of course, I've tested this before Canva AI was even launched about a year ago, right? Draft a doc and you can change like different styles of docs. You want a blog post, a summary, an outline, a social post. And I'm going to show you not only how to create those docs, right, but also how Canva AI gives you the option to edit them and actually further engage with what you have created. In my opinion, one of the most interesting features of Canva AI is the code for me. And in the code for me, and then you can ask for all of those different stuff. You can see that you can ask for an interactive pricing calculator that I can share with, again, anyone, or an interactive historical timeline, or a 3D game exploring space. And you can literally create this with some very simple prompts, right? And finally, the video clip creator, right? So create a video clip. This is only for Canva Premium, as you can see, it has this small crown next to it, right? You can see that you can choose the style of the video, you can choose the aspect ratio, you can choose the duration of the video, the framing, how you want to do a close-up shot, medium shot, a wide shot, and the lighting. So we're going to play also with the creative video clip section, which again, it's going to be just awesome. I'm super excited for this. So this is, again, how the different, again, applications of Canva AI look in the homepage of Canva. Now, the final thing that I want to show you before we actually move into analyzing the design features, image features, and all of the different AI tools here is how I like to prompt. Now, up until this point, the AI that I have been personally engaging with the most has been ChatGPT, right? And I like to engage with ChatGPT, meaning I like to input information to ChatGPT with two different ways. The first one is, okay, so obviously you can type like the prompts, right? You can enter here, you can start typing the prompts. The other way that I like to engage with GPT, it's actually a way more potent way to deliver information from your brain or from your computer to GPT, is to just take a screenshot of text. So let's say, for example, that I want to input something from here to GPT. I would normally take a screenshot and I would drag and drop the screenshot to ChatGPT, right? That's a second way that I like to engage, again, with those artificial intelligence models and just give them more data so I can have a better output. Now, the third way that I actually also really like to engage with GPT, because it's completely free and it's also way more, let's say, time efficient, is to actually chat using voice, right? So I give a voice note to GPT, and I would actually urge you to check out, again, voice noting and actually inputting information to AI with voice, right? Because it's way better than just typing your ideas, because again, we take care of like grammar and spelling and stuff when we're typing, but when you use the voice note, you just keep talking for a minute, and as we know with those AI platforms, right, the more information you give about what you want to bring in life, in this case, the better it's going to be. So let's chat using voice. I'm going to show you again how this whole thing works. So let's say, for example, that you want to create an image of, let's say you have a coffee shop, right? And you want to create an image for Instagram, right? An Instagram post of a latte that just looks freshly brewed, for example, right? With some text on it. So you can chat using voice, click on this. So I want you to create an Instagram post for a coffee shop in which it will be shown like in the middle of a post. I want you to add a coffee and it should be like freshly brewed, and maybe also add text to the image, something like we create fresh coffee or we serve fresh coffee. I want you to make it look not super realistic, like an animation or a cartoon, right? And this will go to the Instagram of a coffee shop, right? So this is going to be an Instagram post. All right. And just like that, like we transcribed our voice. Now you can see that by transcribing your voice and by describing what you want, right, by voice, it's just a way to, let's say, deliver more information without you having to think that much. So I literally use AI as, again, a brainstorming partner where I'm asking for something, right? And it's cool. So let's submit this and let's actually see what we're going to bring into life. But we also saw this in the first lesson of this course. But look at this. Okay, just a moment while I put this together for you. And again, this is just a small demonstration of how you can use this. Of course, we're going to dive into way more detail in the next lesson of this course. But look at this. Fresh coffee. We serve the best coffee in town, right? Or we serve fresh coffee. Or we serve freshly brewed coffee. How cool is that, right? Just like that, in literal seconds. And of course, I also demonstrated this in the beginning of this course. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to add voice notes and to prompt with voice notes. So I think that this pretty much concludes the third lesson of this course, in which again we did a small overview of Canva AI. Now it is time to actually dive deeper and start analyzing every single AI tool of Canva AI in again more detail. So thank you very much for being here. I'm going to see you in the next lesson. So now we're done with the quick overview of all of the AI features of Canva. I think that you've understood the fact that the most important factor that will determine, again, how good the output that we're going to be getting from these, again, AI algorithms will be, is how we communicate what we want with, again, Canva AI. And this is done through prompts, right? This course wouldn't be complete if we didn't have a dedicated lesson on prompt engineering. Now, here's the thing. In conventional AI models like ChatGPT, for example, which is like a conventional language model, right? Literally, the only thing that determines the output that you will be getting from GPT is the prompt, right? Literally, the words that you type in that try to communicate what you have in mind. Now, Canva AI is a bit more evolved. And as you saw in the previous lesson of this course, whenever we choose which AI we want to engage with, for example, the code AI or the image AI or the video AI, then a small subcategory opens up. For example, in the video AI, as you can recall, if we chose to generate a video with AI, then it asked us, for example, for the framing that we would like to use, or for the shot, do you want this to be a close-up shot or a wide-angle shot or a mid-range shot, right? Or how a video would look like. Do you want to be a cartoonish video or a realistic video or a cinematic video? And all of the reason why all of these secret subcategories exist is to pretty much guide you with prompting, right? Because we could in fact just describe that we want a cinematic video up close looking like a sketchbook, but most people wouldn't understand how to engineer a prompt, right? That's why Canva adds all of these categories, right? When you're choosing the input that you're going to be, again, inputting into the AI, right? Bottom line here is that prompt engineering is a bit more accessible and easier in Canva AI compared to ChatGPT, where the only thing you have, it's just like the bar in which you type a prompt, and that's it. That being said, I think that this course wouldn't be complete without a separate lesson on prompt engineering. And this lesson right here, actually, in the timeline of this course, needs to come before we actually engage with the AI in more detail. So let's start by understanding prompts and creative direction to just nail the foundation so we can move on with the next, again, guide of this course. So in this lesson right here, we're going to be talking about how to write better prompts for both images and text. And I left video out of the session right here because actually prompt engineering in the video AI inside of Canva AI is super streamlined and super easy compared to images and text, which is a bit more tricky, and some common prompting mistakes, as well as how to fix those mistakes. So let's start with the basics here. What is a prompt? I think that up until this point, we have established that a prompt, it's pretty much just the instructions that you give to the AI tools. And the instructions are here to bring what you have in your mind to reality. So it pretty much just tells a system what you want and how you want it. That's what a prompt really is. An example of a prompt would be write an Instagram caption about healthy smoothies on a friendly tone, or a modern office workspace with natural light, minimalist style. Generate this. So again, the clearer you are with the prompt, the more straightforward you are with what you're asking, the better the results that you will get from the AI. It is very straightforward. These AI models feed with the information that you give them, so it's super important for us to give the correct information to get the correct output, right? So why do prompts matter? Of course, as mentioned before, AI is as good as the instructions that it receives. A weak prompt looks like something super generic or low quality, and it will of course also give us generic and low quality output. A strong prompt is more specific, more creative, and more, again, useful when it comes to the output that we're getting. So what prompts really do is that they give you creative direction and help the AI align with your goals, right? So let's start with actually analyzing how you can write better text prompts, right? So for tools like the AI Write inside of Canva AI, you can improve your prompts by including those 4 parameters, or at least mentioning what these 4 parameters would look like in the output that you're expecting. So first of all, note down the topic. So what is the general concept of what you're asking? And I want you to take a screenshot of the slide because it's going to be super important for the next lesson of this course. So again, step 1, note down the topic, right? In general, what is the feeling that you want to bring with this creation of yours, right? Then the format, right? The caption, the paragraph, the headline. What do you want this to be? Do you want to generate a paragraph? Do you want to generate an article, right? Then we move on with the tone. So this is also another variable that we can tweak. So is this going to be friendly? Is it going to be professional, humorous, or inspiring? And finally, the audience. Who are you writing for? So again, this all comes down when you're trying to generate written content with AI. We focus on the topic, the format, the tone, and the audience. Those are the 4 variables that we can tweak to get the optimal result, right? So for example, instead of giving this prompt, which is write a caption about coffee, right? You can use write a short, fun Instagram caption about morning coffee for young professionals who love productivity hacks, right? So again, this gives all the information needed regarding the topic, the format, the tone, and the audience. And this is what happens on text prompts. So moving on, the same thing we can do on image prompts. So there are, again, some different parameters that can be tweaked when it comes to image prompts, right? So again, for tools like AI Media, and this also includes video, of course, the variables that you can tweak are first of all the subject. So what should the image show? The style, is it realistic? Is it cartoonish? Is it minimalistic, cinematic? What is it? The mood. So again, bright, dramatic, playful, or elegant, and the details. So we start with the subject, then we describe the style we want, then we describe the mood and the details. If we do not get into detail and we just don't describe the subject, the style, the mood, and the details, right? If we don't exactly tell AI how we want each and every single one of these parameters, then we probably won't like the output that AI will give us. So it's super important to be very descriptive when it comes to the prompts, right? So again, instead of asking draw a dog, you can ask a golden retriever sitting in a modern living room, warm lighting, photorealistic style, right? So you can see the difference here. We'll give much more information on, again, the second prompt, and it will give us, again, a result that really looks like this, right? So here's some common mistakes when it comes to prompting. And the biggest mistake that I've seen, and of course I've also done, because I'm also a beginner into this, it's just being too vague. You don't want to be too vague, right? For example, give a prompt that goes like, make a design about travel. This is too vague. You need to be way more specific. And of course, this prompt right here, make a design about travel, does not tap into any of those parameters that can be tweaked, right? And we talk about these parameters right here, the topic, the format, the tone, the audience, right? Or if we're talking about like an image about travel, the subject, the style, the mood, and the details, right? The second one is forgetting completely the audience. Just ask right text without any context, right? Moving on, asking too much at once could also be a problem. You do not want to overload the prompt with mixed instructions. And this is actually one of the techniques that we're going to be analyzing and I'm going to be demonstrating in future lessons, probably in the next lesson, right? The fact that many people think that they need to nail the image they're trying to generate or the code or the text they're trying to generate from the first try. And that's just not true, right? This free AI, you can engage with it as much as you want. You can retry and retry and retry until you tweak this to perfection. So again, do not ask for too much at once, right? And of course, if we don't give style or tone guidance, this just AI will do whatever it wants and we don't want that. So again, the result will be generic or confusing outputs. So how do we fix these mistakes? How do we not get generic or confusing outputs? The first one is to be super specific. So be specific and add clear details in your prompting. Break down complex prompts into smaller steps. That's one of the most important takeaways that I want you to gain from this lesson right here. The fact that you can break down larger prompts into, again, smaller steps that you can use and engage more with the AI, because at the end of the day, it's free. Always define your audience and the purpose of this prompt, the purpose of the creation. And again, experiment and refine. So adjust per prompt until it feels right. Again, no one is telling you can engage just once with the AI. So keep engaging, keep adjusting until it feels right. So what are the key takeaways of this lesson right here? Prompts are the language that you use to guide AI, right? The prompt is what kind of leads you to take what you have on your mind and bring it into reality through these AI, again, algorithms. The more specific, clear, and detailed you are with your prompts, the better the results are going to be, right? I always want you to think about the topic, the format, the tone, the audience, style, and details, regardless of if you're creating a written, let's say, text or an image with AI. And again, AI creativity really depends on the direction that you provide with your prompts, right? So this right here concludes the prompt lesson of this course and the prompt engineering lesson of this course. You will gain, again, more friction with prompts, and you will see how I use my prompts to gain the optimal result with Canva AI in future lessons. So now let's actually move ahead and analyze each and every one of the AI tools of Canva in the next lesson of this course. Right? Thank you very much. I'm going to see you there. It is now time to actually dive into Canva AI and start analyzing all of the AI features of this awesome website, right? Of this awesome software. Now, for this first installment of, again, the practical approach of this course right here, we're going to be analyzing the design for me feature of, again, Canva AI. And this will pretty much enable us to design anything that we can imagine regarding graphic design online. So enough of this introduction, let's launch Canva AI and let's actually analyze the design for me feature. So inside of Canva AI, this right here is the so-called, of course, user interface. And you can see that we can access design for me, create an image, draft a doc, code for me, or create a video clip. And these are future lessons. For now, we're only going to be messing with the design for me feature. So what happens when I click on design for me? You can see that these icons pop up, right? Social media, the presentation, marketing, cards, and invitations, and logo. Before we actually dive into analyzing all of these different subcategories, let me show you something here. Right here, once we click on design for me, you can see that all of these already pre-made prompts pop up that we can actually use. So for example, design, right? You can do with AI, design. Invite friends to my cozy housewarming. And this will create, let's say, an image that will invite your friends at a cozy housewarming, right? Or design a logo for my organic juice bar, right? So again, all of these are pre-made prompts just to show you how you can leverage the design tool, or design an invite for a 90s themed birthday party. Now, for the sake of this demonstration, let's actually go ahead and use, right, and engage with one of these already pre-made prompts. Let's try the organic juice bar. So when I click on it, you will see that it will automatically import this prompt to the design feature. So you can see it's just like I wrote design a logo for my organic juice bar. And it says on it, give me a moment while I come up with some logo designs for your organic juice bar. Wow, and these actually look really, really good. So this is the organic squeeze, right? And we got all of these different logos, right? Now we can of course change the color, right? So change the color to something, let's say, more earthy. Let's test the AI to see if it can change the logo to something more earthy. I mean, that's actually a pretty earthy color, so I don't know if it's going to change it that much, but let's see what it gives us. And then we can actually go ahead and rate the results, to good results or to bad results. Wow, this is actually, it's actually a very good logo. Like, I really like this one right here. So let's open it. So when I click on the logo, you can see that it can open on another page, and we can use Canva Editor to actually go ahead and tweak this logo ourselves, which is something very, very cool. And we will be doing with the other creations that we'll create in Canva. So again, using AI is an awesome way. Wow, this is also an awesome logo right here, right? So you can see that you can start and leverage AI to just create a draft of your logo and then use the Canva editor to hop in and actually tweak the logo yourself. So just like this, now we have this logo that was generated with AI inside of the Canva editor, and we can go ahead and tweak it ourselves. Of course, add more stuff, subtract stuff. And I feel like this is one of the coolest features, the fact that you can take those AI creations and actually import them inside of the AI, inside of Canva editor, and tweak them further more, right? And of course, if you don't want to tweak them manually inside of like the Canva photo and graphic design editor section, you can actually give more prompts here, right? And actually change it just with prompts. Let's say, for example, that I want you to say, add more watermelons in the logo. Let's see how people engage with this prompt right here. We're just testing things out here just to show you how you can engage with the AI. So work on adding more watermelons and making the logo feel even earthier. There you go. Wow. So cool. And I love this one right here too. So many cool ways, right, to engage with this. So this was the organic juice bar. And again, we can go ahead and check out the other one. Let's check one more, right, for the sake of it. And then I'm going to show you like the different subcategories here. So let's actually check the 90s themed birthday party, right? Again, design an invite for a 90s themed birthday party. And let's see what Canva AI design will come up with. It says, hang tight while I put together some 90s themed birthday party ideas for you. All right. Okay, this good one. 90s retro birthday bash celebration. So let's actually add, say, this prompt. I want you to add more neon and cars to the theme. All right, so more neon, more cars. I guess it's more 80s or 70s, but still, let's see how the AI reacts to it, right? Even more neon and add some cool cars. Right? I might not nail every detail exactly how you pictured, but I'll do my best to bring those ideas in. All right, that's very good, actually. This is like kind of what I was visioning. Cool. I got the 90s cars here. Anyways, so what if you want to create like, a design element and a design feature from scratch? First of all, what are the different design elements that you can create? As you can see, we can create social media posts, we can create presentations, we can create marketing elements, cards and invitations, and logos. So let's start with social media, right? What I would do if I was a complete beginner and I wanted to interact with this. So click on design for me, social media, and then you get to choose the format. So as you choose the more subcategories, more again, subcategories of the subcategories open up here. So you can choose the format and you can actually change the different, let's say, destination of the design feature to create. This will only change the aspect ratio, if you will, of your creation. So you can do a Facebook post, an Instagram story, a YouTube thumbnail. So let's start with a YouTube thumbnail. All right, now, there are two ways to prompt, and there are two ways to prompt engineer. The first one is to be super intentional with it and follow like the previous lesson of this course in which we talked about like prompt engineering, right? Giving the correct information to the AI so you can get the correct output. The way that I like to create prompts, it's just to brainstorm using voice notes. And that's how I want to teach you how to prompt engineer also on real time in this lesson right here. So yes, we could be super intentional and start typing out the tone and the destination and everything as we discussed in the previous lesson of this course. And this would be actually the correct approach to give out an awesome prompt for a YouTube thumbnail on Canva AI. But what I will do is that I'm just going to use voice note for this one. So let's see. I want you to create a YouTube thumbnail for an aesthetic interior design YouTube video that showcases the best couches for your living room. All right, straightforward. I guess we described like the tone and the destination, and we actually give lots of creative freedom to Canva, right, to design different YouTube thumbnails. So let's see actually what it will give us. Wow, that's actually really good. Best couches for your style living room. Best couches for your living room. It's actually really good. Those are good thumbnails. I'm actually very, very impressed by this. I never created a thumbnail actually in Canva AI, but I'm really, really impressed by this. So again, if you like this thumbnail, you can open it up, right? And you get to use Canva editor to change the font, if you will. So let's say you want to change this to best, right? Minimalistic couches or your just living room, right? Look at this. We now actually got to tweak the thumbnail itself, right? Very, very cool. So this is the YouTube thumbnail. You can also create, let's say, an Instagram story. So again, I want you to create an Instagram story about the best minimalistic couches that you can purchase for your living room in 2025, right? Just like this. I like to dictate by a voice and just like that, input like my prompts. I really don't want to type down my prompts just because this is way faster and it's just a faster way to engage with the AI. Now, for the sake of this demonstration right here, we're going to actually be tweaking the outcome, right? So this is, wow, this is actually really good Instagram story, right? I know that I'm always saying that this is really good, but this is actually really good, right? Discover the best minimalistic couches for 2025. I would like to change the color of this. So let's say that this is a good result, right? So now I'm going to close this menu right here. Small side note here. Whenever you accidentally exit the page, you can just enter your recent chats by here. So it's not that if we close a window, it's lost forever. You can actually revisit recent chats from here. So now we're going to be revisiting the best minimalistic couches here, right? So let's see. I actually really like the second suggestion, but I want you to change the background to, again, more earthy, neutral tones. So this right here is the result that we got. You can see that, yes, we have more earthy tones, and those are just, again, new suggestions for Instagram stories. And I really, really like these suggestions. So again, it adds some already pre-designed prompts that you can leverage. For example, show me more story designs. This will just shuffle up your story designs and generate more images. Or here, it will change, you prompt the AI to change the image itself. So add a cozy living room decor image. You can see that this icon right here, which is an image icon, will dictate the fact that it's like you're saying to the AI to change the image. Or this icon right here, which is the color icon. It's like you prompt the AI to change the color, right? So for example, with earthy neutral colors, right? So this was the design for me, social media preset for the AI. So let's actually test now the design for me presentation, right, side of the AI. So let's click, for example, here and say, I want you, right, to create a presentation around dogs playing on water. I'm just trying to give the most random input to Canva AI to see how it reacts. So again, you can see the chosen design for me, presentation, and now we're prompting a presentation around designing like a presentation around dogs on water. So give me a moment while I'll put this together, and you can see that as it's creating the presentation, you can just vaguely see what's happening here. So dogs having fun, right? Water activities, Labrador retrievers, right? Dogs love water. You can see those are really already made presentations with like 1 to 10 slides max, right? Because that's the limit of the AI. Again, dogs playing on water, exciting water activities. This is actually really good, and I really like the format of this presentation. And as you can imagine, again, you get to tweak these presentations themselves. You can either click on the presentation and open them on the Canva editor, so change the slides from here, or you can literally, let me open this again, or you can literally just prompt and change, again, either the presentation themselves with the shuffle button. You can change the image of the presentation from the image button, or you can change colors of the presentation with the colors button. From all of these presentations that were created, I feel like this one was the best. So let me click on it, and you can see that we can open the presentation up from here, right? The energetic poodle, right? Water play fun, right? Or our clients say, now it feels like this, the AI thought that this would be a pitch deck, but actually, let's try another presentation prompt to make this more contextualized around online business. So I want you to create a pitch deck presentation around how AI can change the future of education in schools, right? So this is way more, let's say, sophisticated, way less artsy, and let's see what kind of AI will come up with. So again, hang tight while I put together your pitch deck presentation. You can see that, for example, a keyword in this prompt right here that I use is the word pitch deck itself, right? So these are just different types of, let's say, format of the same presentation that were created with Canva. So the future of education through AI, that's the first one. Or AI transforming education, the future of learning, right? With images and everything. This one's also good. So let's open this one, right? AI transforming education, the future of learning. Get slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4. Or this one, slide 1. It has more text here. Slide 3, slide 4, just like that, in literal seconds, like whole presentation created, just like that. So very cool. This was the presentation feature. Let's move to the marketing feature now. And in the marketing feature, again, we got the exact same format here, right? So click on marketing, format, and now we have different types of marketing elements to create. We can create business cards, we can create flyers, infographics, or posters. So let's say we want to create a business card. So click on design for me, marketing business card. Let's describe the idea. So I want you to create a business card for my creative agency, which is called Creative State. And we mostly do wedding videography. So I dictated the prompt just like this, and that's how I want you to engage with the AI, because it's just way faster, right? But of course, I of course want you to have like all of the different prompt engineering principles we discussed the previous lesson on your mind, right? So let's see how this business card will play out. Here you go, creative state, right? Elegant wedding videography, just like this. So cool and so fast too, right? It's a good business part. And of course, we can click on it and go to Canva editor and tweak, right, the elements. And of course, if we don't also like the outcome, we can directly shuffle for more business cards or change the business cards themselves. So you can see like the different prompts you can use are pretty much the same regardless of what we're designing. This could be a presentation, this could be an Instagram post, this could be a business card. You already have those pre-made, again, prompts right here in which you don't need to type anything. You can either change the image, shuffle the cards, or change the colors themselves. So look at this right here. Created state, right? This is actually a really, really good business card right here. I would probably use this one, right? Or mix with modern color scheme. Let's click on it and see like what the AI is going to give us. Again, more modern colors right here. Or add a camera icon image. So the AI pretty much, let's say, analyzes what fits to the setting that you described initially and suggests prompts that you can also use. So you can just keep engaging and keep tweaking stuff. Actually, I think that this would be the best card up until now. So normally, you can of course go ahead and tweak the color from here directly or open the Canva editor to start tweaking from the inside. So this was the business card, right? From the design, from the marketing. And now let's check out again more cards and invitations that we can use, because of course Canva is heavily used for designing in cards and invitations. So let's say you want to create an invitation. You click on invitation, say, I want you to create an invitation to invite people to a baby shower, right? This was very generic, and of course we could use another prompt, but let's just see the type of invitations that Canva AI creates, right? So give me a moment while I whip up some baby shower invitation ideas. And this can be actually a very famous prompt, because many people would be creating invitations for baby showers on Canva. Look at this. All right, that's pretty sweet actually. We can go ahead and tweak the color immediately from here before we actually use the Canva editor. So you don't even need to open Canva editor. Canva gives you the opportunity to tweak the color like from here before you open Canva editor. And I actually really, really like the colors that were created here. The graphic design was pretty much like everything was created with AI. It's actually really cool, right? So cards, invitations, you can also create, let's say, postcards, right? So I want you to create a postcard around a new go-kart racing track that is going to be opening up. I changed this real fast, go-kart, right? So it also changed some mistakes that it got while picking up my voice. So let's see. Okay, give me a moment while I pull up some postcard ideas for your go-kart racing track. Here you go. That's a good one. I also like the images. It's also good. Looks like Mario Partish. Also, okay. I think this is the best one. Like out of all three. So cool. So again, it's just a mix of images, color, and text that it just brings together. The final design feature that we're going to be checking out in this video right here is going to be the logo feature. And as you can imagine, Canva is awesome at creating logos. Multiple people are creating their logos in Canva. So let's actually give a bit of a more detailed prompt right here. So I want you to help me create a logo for my creative agency around videography. Include neon in the logo and let's say futuristic colors and font. So it picked up phone, but it changed it to font, as you can see, because it tried to make sense with what I dictated, right? So let's see the logos that will be created. So give me a moment, I'll put some logo ideas together for your videography agency. Wow, those are actually really good. I love this one right here, the creative plans. This can be tweaked into Canva Editor or Visionary Films or Visionary Productions. Wow, this one right here was actually really, really good. Let me go back and reopen the window to change it a bit more. So, more logo designs. Let's see more logo designs. Because if the first ones look like this, imagine like, okay, so I actually like the first ones even more. Let's see. Add a neon camera icon. So again, it suggests stuff based on the initial prompt that he gave to the AI. Wow. Cool, cool. Creative lens. Creative lens. I like this. So now that we're done with the design for me feature in Canva AI, it is time to move to the next chapter of this course, which is the image generation abilities with the AI. So in the next lesson, we're going to be discussing about image generation with Canva AI. And keep in mind that this is going to be potentially one of the most important lessons, the fact that the images that will be created with AI can be saved inside of Canva and then repurposed and reused on your manual project, right? So forget about trying to find the perfect image on Google, right, or on Google Images and then downloading it and then importing it to AI. You will be able to, again, source and create copyright-free images with Canva AI. And more information about this in the next lesson of this course. So now that we're done with analyzing the design features of Canva AI, it is time to move to the second and potentially the biggest category of AI adaptation, again, in graphic design, which is image generation itself. Now, as you saw in the previous installment of this course in the design feature, when designing elements with Canva AI, actually, it also incorporates some image generation, again, AI features inside of those design elements. For example, when we design those Instagram posts, many of these Instagram posts already have images inside which were generated with AI. Now, in this lesson right here, I'm going to show you how to create new images and how to source new images and how to prompt correctly new images on Canva AI. And of course, how to leverage these images and potentially also use them in your design feature if you also want to edit them. For example, if you want to edit your design features and you want to import some pictures or some images that you have also sourced with AI. Of course, AI image generation is super popular and super booming right now. So you need to understand how to correctly prompt these images if you want to, of course, know how to utilize Canva AI correctly. So let's actually click on the Create an Image section of Canva AI and see what are the different options that we can have. Those are some previous images that I created before Canva AI was, again, launched, right, with some beta features of Canva AI. So you can see that in the images, I can choose the style. So this is going to be a smart concept, a cinematic concept, creative. So all of these are, again, different types of prompts that you can use. Right, so we don't need to brainstorm prompt engineering from the beginning. It gives us all of the different prompts right here and the aspect ratio. So how the image would look like. So let's start with something super, super basic. So let's say, for example, I want a picture of a dog just to see the different styles here. So we can have an illustration of a dog, a macro image of a dog, a 3D render of a dog, right? A sketch, black and white, again, image of a dog, a stock photo, or a pop art, all of these different features. So again, depending on what you want to source and what type of image you want to create, it's cool to choose one of these, again, presets right here. So let's test, for example, the bokeh, right? Which will just blur the background. So let's see the aspect ratio, 16:9 is usually For YouTube thumbnails, 9 by 16 is an Instagram story, 1 by 1 is an Instagram post, 4 by 3 is an ad created, for example, for Facebook, 3 by 4 is again an Instagram story, and 2 by 1 is usually a background, right? Or it could be also a YouTube video. So let's do 1 by 1, right? This is usually, again, an Instagram post. And I click submit. So we start with something super, super basic. You can see that the results are being seen here. And this is a DOM with bokeh, exactly what we asked, right? So you can go ahead and edit these pictures, right? Or you can reuse this prompt right here. So you can see right here the different presets that we used. This was the bokeh preset and the 1 by 1. If we click on here, we can delete these images or report the images. All right, so let's test some other types of images and what else we can create. So let's say, for example, for the sake of this demonstration, that again, you have a coffee shop and you want to work on the, again, advertisement and the marketing of this coffee shop, right? And you want some Instagram posts, right? Some images to post on Instagram. So I want a picture of a, let's say, coffee that looks tasty and fresh, right? So I want an image of a coffee that looks tasty and fresh. Let's see, we can have a vibrant, raised stretch, stock photo, stretch photo, fashion, cinema. Concept. So let's do a creative, for example, a creative picture of a coffee that looks, of a coffee cup, right? That looks tasty and fresh. Creative 1 by 1. So let's see the creative feature again of the Create an Image AI of Canva. Let's see. It's gonna take a moment. Wow. Okay, so this is again creative, as you can imagine. It looks like something just straight out of a commercial, and I'm really impressed with how this works. So let's do the exact same prompt right here. So I want a picture of a coffee cup that looks tasty and fresh. Okay, I want a picture of a coffee cup that looks tasty and fresh. You see the exact same prompt, but this time let's just change again the prompt right here. So let's do an illustration 1 by 1, exact same prompt that we used previously, but this time it's going to be an illustration and we're going to be able to again compare them. But I really like the vibe we're going with this. Right, so you can see that this is again illustrated, right? It's not, let's say, dreamy, right, or cinematic or creative like these images right here. It is an illustration. The exact same thing. Again, I can reuse the prompt by clicking on this button right here. You can reuse the prompt and change this to a, let's say, minimalist, right? With a minimalist prompting. And just like that, you can change the character, if you will, of a different elements that you're creating and you're designing, right? And this is just a coffee cup. Imagine what else you can create. This is also awesome, right? You can see coffee cup, minimalistic, just like that. And it also was generated in literal seconds. So let's reuse this and choose the, let's say, stock photo, right? And then we're going to be in the next prompt that we're going to be using, we're just going to be, let's say, testing the limits of AI a bit more. So I'm going to give a more detailed option. So again, stock photo of a coffee, right? So let's see. Let's actually now get a bit more specific here. So let's say that you have a creative agency and you want an image of a man working on his computer on a corporate setting. I want a man, right, working on his computer on a corporate environment. So let's do a 3D render of that. So let's see how Canva AI will, again, adapt to this prompt right here. Want a man working his computer on a corporate environment. Actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. I'm very pleased with this result right here. And again, this is a 3D render. So the exact same thing, we can copy the prompt, test things out. Let's do a portrait of that. The same man working on a corporate environment. But I'm actually really pleased with this result right here. So let's see. Yep. It also gave us a Arabic man. Cool. That was a portrait. So let's change, again, the exact same prompt to test the creative, right? Let's make it more creative. And it's so cool to play around with this AI. I'm actually really impressed with the results that we're getting here. And you won't be able to just imagine what's going to be happening in the video elements. Yes, this is way more creative. And you can leverage this in YouTube thumbnails, for example, which is just awesome. Let's actually do this right now. Let's try to create a YouTube thumbnail. So, right? Let's see. Let's say that we're creating a YouTube video on how to make money online, right? And we want a thumbnail of someone holding a computer and looking excited on his left hand and on his right hand holding cash, right? So this is, again, very specific. So I want you to create an image of a male looking to the camera, and on his left hand, he's holding a computer, and on his right hand, he's holding cash, and he looks excited. Let's see if the AI will create this. And we're going to do a 16:9, which is the thumbnail resolution. And let's choose bokeh, right? So you can see that I prompted using both the voice note, right? And the prompts, the already made prompts right here. So look at this. That's exactly what we asked for, right? And this can be used as, of course, YouTube thumbnails, right? So let's copy this prompt right here and just change it to vibrant, for example. But that's exactly what I would use for a YouTube thumbnail. Wow. I'm really impressed. And you can see the bokeh, by the way. Look at this. Vibrant. So cool. So cool. You can do minimalist, right? The exact same prompt, minimalist. Wow. This is awesome, for example. I love this right here as a thumbnail. I can do minimalist. So let's see again. Wow. Good. Look at this. So you can go ahead and edit this, for example, and we'll open the Canva editor menu. So let me just drag this right here, right? And you can see that we now have this image in the Canva editor menu. And if I wanted to turn this into a thumbnail, I could just click here, add a heading, and start literally editing this as a thumbnail. So I could be like, make money, right? Here or here, let's say, okay, this is not a thumbnail editing guide, but you get the point, right? So change the effects, change the background, right? But how cool is that? This literally, we sourced this image in literal seconds. So I can change like the font right here, right? Wow, look at this. Make money on that. I'm actually really impressed with the results we're getting with this AI. I feel like it's way, way better than GPT. You can tweak stuff and keep like tweaking. And it also opens on a new tab. So like the editor menu opens on a completely new tab here. So if you click on the previous tab, you will be also again on the exact same page that you were before. So this is where we're at in Canva AI. And this was like the image generating mode. And I'm really, really excited about the results we're getting here. Let's try one more before we conclude with this lesson right here. So let's say, for example, for the sake of this video right here, that we're creating an ad creative. So it's going to be a 3x4. This is usually the resolution of, I'm sorry, 4x3, which is usually the resolution of ad creatives. And we want this to be moody, right? And the ad would be around, um, let's say food for dogs, right? Food for pets, right? So I want you to create an image of a dog being super excited and looking at its food bowl, which will be super tasty. Yeah, right? And it's food bowl. Great. So you see that we did a small, like the voice note actually called me saying football, but the AI inside of the AI understood, right? But the AI inside of the AI understood that we're talking about a football and not a football, right? So let's actually not do it moody. Let's do smart. Let's just test the smart feature. So let's say that we have, let's say, an ad account around food for dogs, right? So let's see. Okay. So cool. So cool. That's crazy. That's crazy. You can click on this, right, and test, for example, another one. Let's do the final one. I can't stop working with this. It's so addictive. No, this would be a great image for like a commercial, I feel like. Wow. Okay, so we change the style here, even more like macro. I love the dog too. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, of course, like two different AI features of Canva AI can interact with each other. So, for example, you can source an image and generate an image from, again, Canva AI image generation, and then move this image and import it into a design that you also created with Canva AI. So it's not that you only use Canva AI for image generation or you only use Canva AI for design. I know how easy it is for you to focus on me instructing this lesson right here when you have all of these dogs literally looking at the camera here. But yeah, I was super excited about the create an image, like again, section of Canva AI. I feel like it's way better than GPT, to be completely honest with you. And I think that now is the perfect time to move to the third section of, again, the Canva AI course, which is the draft a doc lesson, right? So more information about draft a doc and all of the different, again, written AI that we can leverage with Canva AI in the next lesson of this course. So now we've concluded with the first two visual element creations with AI, right? The design for me and the image generation feature of Canva AI, which completely blew my mind, by the way. And I feel like it's also going to be super useful for your creative career. It is time to move to the second type of AI generative art inside of Canva, which is going to be the draft a doc feature. Now, in this draft a dog feature, we're going to be engaging with the first language model that creative career, is that